Hey everybody, I'm here with Wowie's latest robot called MIP, and I'm going to show you how to use him A to Z. But for starters, we have to take him out of his packaging. So, the top portion pops up, we stack him down flat, and slide him out of his box. Peel the plastic part off on the front, and prop out MIP, his stand, and his tray table. The way you clip in MIP is his table goes into his stomach and his stand goes behind his wheels in the back so that when he's not on, he could still stay upright. Before we can have all sorts of fun with MIP, I have to show you guys how we power him up and add batteries. So what you do is you flip him over, you take a screwdriver to the back of the battery compartment over here, and you prop this component part out. Each MIP takes 4 AAA batteries, which we have over here, and you prop them in as specified by the batteries, by the battery box. Once you're finished, you prop the component back in here, grab your screwdriver, and make sure those nails are tight. The next thing you have to do is turn his power switch from off to on the back of his body. Once he says MIP, he's ready to party. Out of the box, MIP comes with 7 different game modes. The way you access those game modes is by turning his wheel. Each time you turn his wheel, a new color appears on his chest. Each new color represents a new game. Dark blue is the default mode, called MIP mode. The key to using this mode effectively is to give MIP as wide of a surface area to recognize with your hands as possible. Because the sensors are located in his eyes, the flatter the surface area that you're using to attract him, the more surface area he has to recognize. The next mode I want to show you guys is stacking mode, indicated by the color pink. In this mode, the user takes the tray table and attaches it to MIP's chest. As soon as the user props MIP down onto a surface, he'll start a timer, indicated by MIP, MIP, MIP. The faster he says MIP, the less time the user has to stack objects on the tray. The goal is to get as many things on his tray before the time runs out. So in this demo, I'll use apples. 1 apple, 2 apples. And he's sad because he was only able to keep 1 on the tray. The next mode that I want to show you guys is called Tricks mode, indicated by the color red. Here, the user can program different sequence of actions for MIP to recreate. The way it works is as follows. You plop MIP onto a flat surface and wait for his chest to start flashing. Once he starts flashing, he's ready to take your commands. That's left, right, and now I'm going to try forward. Once I'm finished, I clap twice, and he recreates the sequence. What's really important to note in this game mode is that each time he registers your command, he says trick. So when I say left, he says trick, right, trick, forward, trick. That's how I know he's registering. When I'm finished, I clap twice, or alternatively, I can tap 2 times on his head, and he recreates the sequence. All of our robots here at Wowie love to dance. MIP is no different. Light blue indicates dance mode. When you prop him down, the last mode I want to show you guys is called tracking mode, indicated by the color orange. Tracking is very similar to MIP mode in that you use your hand gestures to control the robot. The only difference is that in MIP mode you're using swipes, whereas in tracking mode you're keeping your hand there the entire time. It's a little more precise. Once you've made it through all the different game modes, the next thing worth checking out is the MIP app. Once you've downloaded the app, load it up, and as long as you're connected to Bluetooth and on an iOS or Android device, you are eligible to download the app. When you load it up, the device will automatically sync up to your MIP and will put you into the default mode within the app, which is called MIP Drive. Here, you can use your thumbs to drive MIP around. So your right thumb will spin him around, while your left thumb will drive him forwards and backwards. The next thing worth checking out in the app is called MIP cans. Here, the user can take little chips and feed them to MIP and change the way his personality works. Whenever you feed him a mood chip, MIP will react accordingly in real life. So for example, if you make him sleepy, he'll start to snore and fall over. Another really fun game mode within the app is called Dance. Dance lets the user log into his music library and choose any song he wants for MIP to dance to. Here we'll use a little Jackson 5. The song will not play through MIP but rather through your smart device, so make sure your volume is turned on nice and loud. Once the song is playing, you can choose MIP's dance move. I can make him spin left, right, backward, forward. I can adjust how fast he dances by tapping quickly on the BPM here, or I can make him dance slower by tapping slowly. I can choose if I want him to be a jive star, a superstar, a rock star. The possibilities are endless and it's a lot of fun. The next fun mode in the MIP app is called Battle Mode. This mode, you're going to need a partner to play with. Here, you drive MIP around using your thumbsticks the same way you did in the MIP driving app. But this time, you have a life meter and 2 laser guns to fire at your opponent. The goal of the game is to drive MIP around to your opponent, square him up with the sensors in his eyes, and shoot the lasers at MIP's eyes. If you take on too much damage, your life meter will go down and your MIP will fall over, indicating that you've won and lost. Another really fun game mode that also requires an opponent is called boxing. In this mode, it's really important to make sure that first, that MIP's hands are up, because his arms aren't mechanized, but the sensors in his eyes will still allow the user to see who's winning and losing. Here, you throw punches, and MIP will turn and sway according to the punches that he's throwing. Again, we can drive him around to try and avoid the opponent, and throw punches to try and beat him. The goal here, again, is to hit your opponent's MIP where the sensors are in his eyes, and the first one to knock the life status meter out of the other one's opponent will win. This one is really cool. MIP Path allows the user to take his finger and trace a path along the app. You can make him go forward or backward. The last mode that I want to show you guys is called stacking. In stacking mode, you make sure to place the tray onto MIP's chest, and you begin stacking objects on top of this tray. The goal is to have MIP's head reach the top of the tower. Next is roam mode, represented by the color yellow. Here, you can place MIP on a flat surface and let him navigate his surroundings autonomously. If MIP sees something in his path, he will turn and roll to a different direction. He does not have edge detection, however, so be careful not to let him fall off tables or staircases. After stack mode comes the cage game, represented by the color white. Here, MIP will say, MIP go, indicating the start of the game. Now, MIP is in a virtual cage, and you have to prevent him from escaping by putting your hands in front of the sensors in his eyes. If you don't get there in time, MIP wins, and he'll be a show-off about it too.